Hey, what's going on, guys? GB back here, and today in this video, I'm making a video about watches. Finally. I wish I had sooner, but finally doing it, so I'm going to have some fun with it. So today we're looking at what is possibly the most complicated watch in the world. And this all started, I looked up, because there's a Belova watch that I wear fairly often, and it says right on the dial, 21 joules. So I figure, what is the most amount of joules ever put into a watch? So I looked it up. Most joules in a watch. And I get this right here, the watch with 242 joules. So I clicked on the link, and it led me here. The watch with 242 joules. Immediately, the first thing I saw was this insane looking movement. Just look at that. That's extraordinary. And then I kind of read on. So this is the Vacheron Constantin reference 57260. And it is extraordinary, to say the least. This thing is unbelievable. I have never seen anything like this watch in my life. This is just insane. And so a little bit of background here on kind of what this all is. So there's what's known as there is this thing known as the Holy Trinity of watches, or like the Big Three. It's Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Vacheron Constantin. Sorry if I'm pronouncing those wrong. I don't know how to pronounce the names very well. But this one here is from Vacheron Constantin. It was made to commemorate the 260th anniversary of the company, and features 57 complications. Hence the reference number 57260. 57, number of complications, and 260, the anniversary. So after doing a lot of research on this watch, I am going to talk about it a bit because it's just insane. There's some other ones on here. So you got like the ETA caliber 2824-2. Just some simpler ones like that, just some small stuff. Then you got like the Daytona movement and everything. But this is the one we're focusing on here because this is mind-blowing. So after doing a ton of research and a ton of writing up technical specs and everything, I'll run over the technical specs of this insane watch. So technical specs, so the full reference number is 57260/000G-B046. The case material is made out of white gold. The case diameter is 98 millimeters. This is very big. So it's a pocket watch. Technically, it's not a wristwatch. It's a pocket watch. The case thickness is 50.55 millimeters. It is the movement is called the caliber 3750. And then so let's see, the movement diameter is 72 millimeters. Movement thickness is 36 millimeters. Total components is somewhere around 2,800. I can't find an actual like definitive number, so a little over 2,800 is what I was able to find. That's all I was able to find. In total, there's 242 joules. Frequency is 2.5 hertz, which is 18,000 vibrations per hour. It's got a 60-hour power reserve and 57 total complications. Those complications are as follows. There are 6 time measurement complications, 7 perpetual calendar complications, 8 Hebrew calendar complications, 9 astrological calendar complications. There is 1 lunar calendar, 1 religious calendar. There are 4 functions of the 3-column wheel chronograph. There are 7 alarm functions. There are 8 Westminster Carillon striking complications or functions. And then there are 6 other complications that just kind of fall into their own categories that we'll go over. So, yeah, there's a lot going on here, needless to say. I was able to find a really neat picture that sums up the whole movement in its entirety and kind of everything going on here. So the most common picture, the one that I showed you earlier, was of part C, which is the front movement. this is the front movement. But if we look here, there's a lot of pieces. So A right here, that is plate 350, which is the chrono and Hebrew perpetual calendar. B, plate 150, is the chronograph right there. And then C, that's the front movement. We talked about that. D is the back movement. E is the astronomical calendar. And plate 250, which is F right here, is the Gregorian perpetual calendar. And you can see this is a tourbillon movement, or tourbillon. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that either. It's French, I think. I don't know. There's a little hole cut out here for that, and it's actually the mechanism is further back in the movement there. But yeah, this is really fascinating. So this is kind of sums up the movement and how much is going on here. I believe this took, I think it took like 8 years to make. Yeah, this is just insane. So it was introduced in 2015. It required, it took 8 years to make. And let's see here. So yeah, it has 2,826. There, yeah, definitive number. 2,826 parts, 31 hands, and weighs 957 grams, which is insane. That is just insane. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on here. There's this here. This is actually on the website, the Vacheron Constantin website. This shows all of the complications, every single one. So let's go through a couple of these. So one, this is the hours, minutes, and seconds, and average solar time. So let's see. There's one right there. So that's the minute hand. I believe that is the hour hand right there. Second hand right there, I believe. Yeah, that's the second hand. Another second hand right here. 3-shaft tourbillon. That is on the back here, right there. And then the tourbillon regulator with spherical balancing spring. That is also a really cool, just neat little detail. The balance spring, or the hairspring, kind of goes by both, is spherical. So I've got these great pictures here that I found also on the Vacheron Constantin website. It shows you some of the little switches and toggles on the sides here that are used to set different aspects of this piece. There's a really close-up view of the tourbillon. Yeah, just some insane stuff. But let's take a look at the tourbillon itself. Still not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Right here. Not that. Right here. So here's the actual tourbillon. Right there. That is the balance spring or the hairspring. It's spherical in this case. And then I believe this is also a triaxial tourbillon. I couldn't find that, if it was or not. But yeah, this thing basically rotates every which direction as it operates, which is really, really just insane. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking. And the quality of craftsmanship that went into building something like this is just insane. So, honestly, I could talk for hours about this thing, but I really got to, keep track of time here. So, I'm just going to go back to the very first image here. No, that's not it. There we are. So this one, you can see some of the toggles here, case and toggles, everything, made out of white gold. So this is all white gold. Here you got a little switch here. Not sure exactly what that switch does. Let's consult this guide right here. Perhaps on this view. It should be right around here, but I don't think it tells you. Typically, you're going to want to, if you're setting something like this, and this is a button, by the way, right here. This is a button. Typically, when you're using this, it clicks one of the complications, just one space forward or backward, but you use this little tiny kind of it's kind of like a toothpick, but it's just like a little tiny little tool that you use for that. Yeah, and there's another one down here. Let's move along here, see what we got. So here's sunrise and then day length. It tells you right here with these two hands. It also tells you the zodiac signs along the very edge, which actually, let's just move back to this. tells us that. So there's the 12-hour time zone, which seconds, hours, and minutes of that time zone. So that is number 4, which is not on the side. It's on the back. Number four, right here. So, okay, yeah, 12 times. So this is a whole clock right here in itself. It tells you the day on the inner side there, and then it tells you the time on the outer side with seconds, hours, and minutes. There's a 24 city display, so one for each time zone. That is number 5, which is right here. So if we find a close-up image, that would be right. That would be right here. Man, this thing is beautiful. If this video gets 100 or 1,000 likes, I'll buy one. I'm kidding. I can't do that. Let's see. Then there's a day and night indication for 12-hour time zone, which is number 6. That is right there, right above the 24 city display. This one you can actually clearly see right there, just through that little pinhole right there. Or not really a pinhole, just a little tiny hole right there in the dial. You can see. That is everything for just the basic time measurement functions. There's 7 perpetual calendar functions. So number 7. Number 7. Where are you? I think it was on this side. I can't find number 7. Oh wait, so this is where all the Hebrew calendar pieces are. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to decode this whole thing. So for perpetual calendar functions, you have the Gregorian perpetual calendar, Gregorian day name, Gregorian month name, the Gregorian retrograde date, the leap year and 4-year cycle display. So that's really cool. It keeps track of leap years. Number of the day of the week. So that's essentially like, the date almost, which is an ISO 8601 calendar. And then the week to view, which is also an ISO 8601 calendar. Then there's all these Hebrew calendar functions. There are 8 of them. There's the Hebrew perpetual calendar 19-year cycle, Hebrew day number, Hebrew month and name, Hebrew date, Hebrew secular calendar, Hebrew century, decade, and year, age of Hebrew year, 12 or 13 months, and then golden number, 19 years. Then this one has the most complicated, this kind of topic here that this falls under, which is the astronomical calendar functions, has the most complications, so 9 of them. There's seasons, equinoxes, solstices, and signs of the zodiac indicated by the hand on the sun. So that would be this one right here. There's the little sun right there. And then here's this hand. It's kind of like a big giant seconds hand. That is all around the outer edges of this dial. There's a star chart, and that is for the owner's city, which that would be right here, the star chart that rotates along with it. There's a sidereal time hours, which is right here. There's equation of time, which is number 26. Oh yeah, sidereal time minutes. That's also along there. Equation of time, so number 26, right there, indicated by that little tiny hand right there, I think. I don't know exactly what that is. There's sunrise times, sunset times, length of day, and length of night. That's all for the owner city, and that is on these kind of semicircle areas here alongside the tourbillon. There's a lunar calendar function, which is the moon phases and age. So one correction every 1,027 years. That is number 31. So let's see if we can find that one, because I want to track that one down. 31. I think that would be on the front. Yes, right here. that is this right here. And then you have religious calendar functions, so that's number 32, and that is the date of Yom Kippur, which is indicated by this little tiny hand right here. You have the 4 functions of the 3-column wheel chronograph. So number 33, which would be retrograde seconds chronograph. That's number 33, which that would be right here, this gray hand right here. You have retrograde split seconds chronograph, which is 1-column wheel, and that is number 34. Number 34 is right here, the second gray hand, so that you can time gaps and stuff. There's an hours counter, which is number 35. Number 35, right there. That is the silver hand right here. Number 36 is the minutes counter, so right here. I believe it's that silver hand on the other side. There are 7 alarm functions. This one, this is really fun. This is something I've always found fascinating in crazy watches like this, is all of the alarm functions. And if you take a look, actually, on the inside of the movement, I believe there's a picture of that on here that shows how some of the, how some of the chimes and stuff work. Because there are actual chimes in here that can go off every hour if you want them to, or just they can go off, which is really, really fascinating. If you kind of see around the edge of the inside of, like, you know, C and D right here, parts C and D. So this is a good picture right here. You can see these little tiny hammers. There's one right there. There's like part of a hammer right there. These little hammers that hit these little chimes in here and make little chiming noises, which is really, really cool. I have not heard this thing. I haven't been able to find a video of hearing it. That would be really cool, though, if I can find one. That would be great. So the 7 alarm functions, there's an alarm with its own gong and gradual striking. There's an alarm strike and then a silence indicator as well. So number 38 is a silence indicator. Where is that? That will probably be on the back. Yeah, 38. Yeah, that's right there. So if we go back into these images, there's actually one that I think I know exactly. I believe it's that right there. I believe that's the indicator right there. Just a little tiny window right on the top of. Yeah, I think that's it. I think so. Number 39. So that is there's choice of normal alarm or carillon striking alarm indicator. Number 39. Where's number 39? Maybe that was the little tiny thing up top. This thing, see, as cool as this is, this I feel like isn't something that really would be used conventionally. Because, like, say, like a watch that I wear very, very often, it's just day, date, and time. That's it. It tells you the date. So, like, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like, whatever. It tells you the date. So, like, the 19th, 20th, 21st, 24th, and whatnot. And then the time with the seconds. That's I mean, all you really need. Some of my watches just tell the time. That's it. Just no day, date, just the time. Which is, I mean, really all you need. But, I mean, all of this stuff makes this thing super, super cool, but also super, super difficult to use. Because you have to know what you're looking at here and how each one of these works. And then setting this thing would be a nightmare. So, I mean, it's not very practical, but this thing is crazy cool. There's an alarm mechanism coupled to the carillon striking mechanism. An alarm striking with choice of grande or petite sonnerie, which is, that's all French, that's just, you're going to have a louder or quieter chime. There is an alarm power reserve indicator, which is really cool. So it's got its own, I believe it's got its own mainspring for the chimes, which is really, really cool. And it's got a power reserve indicator for that mechanism specifically, which is really, really neat. There is a system to disengage the striking mechanism when the alarm barrel is fully unwound. So when it's unwound, it won't continue to try to use the chimes, so that it'll just disengage, which is really neat. This year there are 8 Westminster carillon striking functions. So there's the Westminster carillon chiming with 5 gongs and 5 hammers, and you are actually able to see some of those in here. You're able to see some of the hammers and some of the little tiny gongs around the inside there, which are the little tiny kind of wires almost that essentially make that sound. Because I've worked on clocks a little bit as well. A family member of mine has this clock that I was working on, and it, instead of having like little tiny bells or little tiny like plates as gongs, it actually has these little tiny, they're almost like wires. They're like little brass bars that run through the bottom, and there's a little tiny metal hammer that just taps those, and it makes a really nice, like, it makes a beautiful, beautiful chiming sound, and it is very nice. And there are hammers that hit them in specific ways and like specific combinations to make really beautiful sounds. It's just amazing. All right, let's see, back to this. So there is Westminster carillon chiming with 5 gongs, 5 hammers. There's grand sonnery, passing strike, and petite sonnery, passing strike. There is the minute repeating. There is a night silence feature, so it won't chime between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., which I believe you can turn that on and off as well. Which is also super nice. So if you have it in like your bedroom or something, it won't like be chiming in the middle of the night. There is a system to disengage the striking barrel when it's fully wound. Not exactly sure what that is. There is an indication for grand or petite sonnery modes, which that just tells you whether it's going to be a louder or quieter chime, and there's an indicator for that, which is really neat. That is number 50, actually. I want to see where that is. It's number 50. Right there. It's the littler hand right there between those two. That goes between those two. And I believe it should be on these images here. Yep, GS and PS. Petite sonnery and grand sonnery. Very nice. That's really cool. There is... Okay, so that is... And then there's also an indication for silence, striking, and night modes, which is 51. That is the one above it. So up here, SIL, which is silence, and then night, which I believe that's just it'll shut off at night, and then the CHI, chime. Very, very cool. Oh, wait, I keep hitting the wrong tab. And then the 6 other functions. There is the movement power reserve indicator, which is fairly common. Quite a lot of watches have that, but let's see where it is on this one. So this is number 52. Probably going to have to pull up this document every time you want to tell somebody the time. You just kind of look and see which hand does that. Number 52, maybe on the other side? 52, where are you? 52, where's 52? 52. Maybe it was on the other side. It's weird, because like some of these I just can't find them. There's 53. There's 51. But where the heck is 52? 19, 32, 34, 17, 15, 20, 53, 46, 41 to 50, 51, 37, 31, 1, 54, 1, 42, 39, 21, 35. There's 52 right there. Oh, okay. It actually makes a lot of sense. So it's this kind of sweeping thing right here, and it is the longer hand that extends over the edge there. So that tells you fully wound is right there. And then, oh yeah, yeah. And it's the same thing on this one. So this is if the chime is fully wound, yeah, striking train. So yeah, C right here, chime, says C, and then M, movement, that right there. Very nice. 54, the winding crown position indicator. I believe that's a little tiny window thing that we were looking at before, because that is up right here. That tells you what you're setting, I think. There is a dual barrel winding system, which is really neat. I believe that means don't take my word for this one, but I believe it means that there are 2 mainsprings on the inside that hold power for this thing. Yeah, I think it means that there's 2 mainsprings that hold power. So runs longer. I mean, that makes sense with a 60-hour power reserve. So there is a time setting in 2 positions and 2 directions. That's number 56 right there on the crown. And then 57, a secret mechanism, which opening of the button for alarm arbor. What? Huh. Okay, not exactly sure what that is, but it's a secret mechanism, so I'm intrigued naturally. But just by looking at this thing, it can do an insane amount of things. And honestly, I have to applaud Vacheron Constantin and the workers that made this thing, because holy crap. If I tried to make this thing, it would probably have taken me like 2 decades just to figure out which piece goes where. Not even mentioning like how they made these pieces. There's over 2,800 different pieces. They made all the pieces and they put them all together into this beautiful masterpiece. That's just amazing. Honestly, though, I will say again, I feel like this isn't a practical timepiece, simply for the reason that it does too much. It does way too much. It does more than you can see on an iPhone, probably. Like, it's extraordinary. But I think this thing is definitely deserving of the title of the most complicated watch ever built. It seems fitting. Also, there's this little tiny engraving on it that I wanted to look at, see if I could see what it says. Right here. Oh, it's in a different language. I don't know what that is, but I can tell it says Francois Constantin 5 Juliet 1819. Something Missilo. I see possible. I'm not even going to try to read that. I can't read a different language, especially in cursive. Look at that. It's just all the little tiny details. Armillary sphere tourbillon. Swiss made. It's just extraordinary. And look, you can see, so it's at 242 joules. You can see how many are in there just by looking at this one image. You can see what we got, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 20 in this picture alone. That's as much that's in an entire one of my watches. 21, actually, but like, that's just an insane amount. To be able to see them all like this is just amazing. It's beautiful. Oh, jewels, by the way, they're basically, they act as bearings almost. And you put a little tiny bit of oil on them, and it acts as a bearing. So, just the fact that there's 242 of them in here should tell you that this thing, it means business. For crying out loud, this thing's crazy. It's beautiful, though. Just beautiful. The craftsmanship and the work that went into this thing. Honestly, I applaud Vacheron Constantin and the master watchmakers that worked on this piece, because it is extraordinary. But now, we need to see how much this watch sells for. How much is this watch? How much does it cost? So right here, the reference 57260 is one of Vacheron Constantin's tailor-made pocket watches with grand complications. Members of the lineage include... Okay, I'm just going to skip past some of this. It auctioned for US dollars 1.763 million by Christie's in New York on June 15th, 2011. Oh wait, no, that's this one from 1918. Watch. Oh, this doesn't even. This isn't telling me. That didn't tell me. Okay. How about we do this? Vacheron Constantin Ref 57260. Price. How much did this thing sell for? Price. Okay, so the price agreed between the company and the client is confidential and has not been officially disclosed. However, various sources estimate the price to be in excess of $10 million. Wow. I've seen a lot of different prices actually for this thing. I've seen people say 8 million, see people see 10 million. I've seen people say 6 billion. I've seen people say as low as 2 million. So, but honestly, I'm gonna bet that it went well over. I bet that it went well over 10 million. I'd say maybe closer to 20 million, which is just extraordinary. But currently, the most expensive watch in the world, which I might cover in a future video, which is the Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime that they sold at Only Watch 2019. The Only Watch auction 2019 sold for I think 31.9 million. Which I'll probably go over that one in a future video because that one deserves its own video entirely, honestly. But yeah, this thing is extraordinary. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. If you guys want to see more videos where we go over crazy items like this, doesn't even have to be watches, just crazy items, please leave a like because I really want to do more of these. This was a ton of fun. Also, I have an Instagram page now. I've had it for a while. I don't know why I never brought it up, but it is at Green Bay Underground on Instagram. If you want to go check that out. I post a lot of pictures of cars. I see a lot of cars. Also some cool watch stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, check that out at Green Bay Underground on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description below. But this has been the most complicated watch in the world from Vacheron Constantin, one of the holy trinity of watch companies, one of the finest watchmakers in the world, creating the most complicated watch in the world. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.